Not everybody at once, please.
Jesse, for both of you guys, in what ways do you think being a part of Wisconsin's program helped prepare you for what you face in the NFL and the things you've gone through?
Yeah, I'll start with that. I think I definitely noticed this early in my career, just playing against a pro-style offense and the offensive lines that we had. And I've said this, time and time again, really prepared me for the type of offenses we play in the NFL and really the type of O-line, kind of the bodies and the talent level and stuff like that I see every week. I feel like every week I'm playing against another Badger, offensive lineman or running back or something like that. So definitely from that aspect, but also I think just the kind of mentality of guys here and guys that have played at the college level here and had success and then got onto the NFL, guys that I emulated when I was a young college player. I think kind of looking at those guys and trying to model myself and my behavior after those guys really helped me.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the physical aspects of, just being a college football player here and being taught the right things. I think for me, more than anything, it was the things that I learned as a man and through the integrity and the character that you need to get to the next level and to stay at the next level. When I transitioned out of Wisconsin, I was an undrafted guy, and the disciplines and the things that I had learned in my time here made the transition to the NFL extremely smooth because I knew how to do things the right way. I was coached really well. I knew not to cut corners. I knew about work ethic. I knew about all the things that were going to take to have success at the next level, and I would say that was, really, really important in my career to be to this point. So.
Ryan, in the back on the right.
For both of you guys, what is one moment that sticks out to you, be it from the Super Bowl, be it the week before the Super Bowl, the game itself, or maybe the parade afterwards?
For me, it was definitely the parade. I think just because, everybody's been waiting for this for so long, as an Eagles fan, the whole community is invested in it. They pour everything they have into the team, all year round. I mean, they're talking about football in February, March, April, when it's the off season. So, just that everybody was so excited about it, and the city really emulates a lot of what our team was this year. A hard-working, blue-collar type town, and that's exactly what our team was. We didn't have a whole lot of flashes to us. We just went to work every day and have a lot of success.
Yeah, I mean the parade was amazing all year. Guys were kind of talking about you win the Super Bowl, the parade is going to be unbelievable. So you get an idea for it, and then you actually show up on the day of the parade, and it exceeds all of your expectations. You can't even really describe it. That was something that'll stick with me. But we got together some guys last night, and it was kind of a funny story. I was playing, the Super Bowl obviously against James White, who's a friend of mine, and we played here at UW together. And one thing I always remember about the game is I had kind of a dirty assist where I jumped on a pile and tackled him, and my face mask was right up in his face, and it was the Super Bowl. I was like, "Oh, hey James, what's up?" He's like, "Oh, what's up, Beau?" And then we kind of just went our separate ways and jogged back to the huddle. So that's one thing that I think is a fun little memory for me.
Jake here in the front on the right.
Yeah, Chris, how does it feel? You won a Super Bowl in Seattle and now in Philadelphia. Just what does it mean to you to win a Super Bowl now with your second team?
That's a good question. It's special. I think the second time around you really realize a lot more, just how rare it is and how special it is. The first time it's kind of a whirlwind for you just because you get to the point, you win the game, everybody's excited about it, whatnot. Point.
See that?
But the thing about it is that you don't really know how to kind of embrace kind of the process the week of and kind of, I don't know, I really would say kind of how to enjoy it afterward. But the second time you go through it, you understand how rare and how hard it is to get to that point. So I think you savor every moment a little bit more. And so this one was really, really sweet, especially being, the franchise's first Super Bowl in Philadelphia and how great that was.
If I could hop in really quick and kind of gas Chris up a little bit. When we were first, kind of starting our playoff run and we were playing the Falcons, Doug, our Coach P, brought up guys that had been there before and had them address the team and stuff like that. And Chris did an unbelievable job just, and it's tough to get in front of a team, and talk. And I think it was really our whole organization that was there, like our front office, our, the other side of the building that you're not really that associated with as a player. But Chris kind of talked to everybody and did a really good job of, sharing his experience in Seattle and telling us what to expect and kind of how I don't know, how to behave and how to act under those kind of circumstances. So as a leader and you know, that kind of thing, Chris did an unbelievable job of really setting the expectations for us early on in that playoff run.
Tom in the back on the
Well,
right.
at what point did you know that they were playing a Super Bowl in the Twin Cities, and how long had you thought about maybe playing on that team?
Yeah, I thought about that for a while. I think I knew. I kind of joked about it with my buddies actually, because you know, I think we found out maybe like a year and a half ago or something like that, and the Vikings were building this brand new, really cool stadium and all that, and the Super Bowl was there, and we were joking that you know, Super Bowl 2018 be in Minnesota, we'd get all the guys together when the Eagles went there, and then lo and behold, that actually ended up happening. So. You know, it's kind of a dream come true. You don't even, it's weird because I look back and I'm like, damn, you know, the Super Bowl's in Minneapolis, like what an experience. It just seems like, you know, kind of like a dream come true, really. You know, I can't really even think of a good way to describe it.
Ryan?
Chris, as an undrafted free agent, you have good insight into what Corey was able to do for your team this year. How important was he to your stretch run, and how he was able to really work through that kind of what is unfortunate to not get drafted, but then fight through it?
Yeah, good question. Corey's been unbelievable for us all year. He came in from the day he stepped in OTAs. He really represented the University well because I was hyping him up coming in to all the guys saying, this dude can play, this dude can play.
Yeah, we were both talking about
Don't even
things,
know
so
why
yeah.
he went undrafted. Yeah, exactly.
He had a lot of
Yeah.
shoes to fill.
A lot of shoes to fill, yeah. So we and he filled them though. He came in, you know, he did everything that the team asked for him. He, you know, was running out on kickoffs. He made our first kickoff tackle, our first game, really set the tone for the whole game. We beat the Redskins there week 1 on the road, and his role just kept expanding. And I think that's really epitomizes a lot of what the guys who come from this program, you know, emulate. You know, it's just give me an opportunity, and we're going to make the most of it. And that's what Corey did. And you obviously saw throughout our playoff run stretch, he had a big, I think it was a 3rd down pivotal moment in the game against, was it the Falcons or the Vikings when he stiff-armed one of those guys.
Yeah.
But he had a huge play for us. It was going to be probably a tackle for loss, and he broke a couple tackles, made like 10 yards, and kept the drive alive. I think it was against Atlanta. And obviously you saw what he did in the Super Bowl, but you know, we're really excited for his success, and he's a young player that's only going to get better with more time too.
Tom?
For both you guys, how much, when you're leading up to Super Bowl week, how much did James factor into your thinking, defensive game planning, things like that?
Well, it's funny because you see, I mean, we definitely talked about it. You definitely notice a guy like that. He's a mismatch in coverage for linebackers. You saw what he did last year in the Super Bowl against the Falcons and that unbelievable game he played. So I mean, obviously you take notice of a guy like that and you game plan against him. So we definitely knew where he was on the field and you know, tried to neutralize him. He had a really good game against us too. You know, he had a really good 30-yard touchdown run, and he did a lot of good things for him. He's a really good player.
Yeah, I would say too, from the back end, more from the defensive back perspective, he creates a lot of unique mismatches, you know, and you know, really creates problems for a defense because, you know, if you go into your dime package or nickel to put a guy in the box to cover him that can, you know, stay with him, you know, you're light in the run game, and then they just start running the ball down you, and those safeties or cornerbacks or whatever it might be, you know, they can't hold up. Or, you know, if you keep your base package in, you got a linebacker manned up on him, and then he's just running by guys and he's running his routes. So he really opens up a lot of things of what they do on offense, and he's a unique challenge for sure. I mean, we talked a lot about what he does and how we had to stop him.
And James is a great teammate too. Like all the way back to, you know, being here at UW and really detail oriented, really focused on those little things. You can tell that he puts a lot of time and effort into doing things the right way. And I have a lot of respect for James, and you know, as a person and a player.
Beau, it's not every day we meet a Super Bowl champion. So when you realized you did win the Super Bowl, what were like thoughts and emotions going through your head?
I mean, I don't know if I can tell you a lot of them in this kind of setting. Maybe after, but no, you just realize you kind of think to yourself. It's almost, the game is so like long and drawn out during the day because there's such a build-up going up to it. Yeah, and the week of, and there's so much media involved, and it's like kind of mentally draining that after the game I just felt like I was almost kind of numb to it, you know, and then you're taking it all in, and you're just like, damn, I just won the Super Bowl, you know. And for me, it's in my home state, and you just kind of keep saying that to yourself over and over again to make sure it's real. But I mean, it's really, I can't even tell you. I'll never forget. I think my favorite moment actually was right after, you know, the incomplete pass to finish the game, and we stormed the field, and it's pandemonium out there. Guys, you know, there's people everywhere about it. Everyone's celebrating. I remember seeing Brent Selleck, who's a teammate of ours in Philly, and he's been there for, you know, 10 years, and he's a kind of the ultimate grinder, does it all right, does scout team reps, you know, blocks, you know, works his ass off. He's just an unbelievable guy, and I think he was just so stunned and so happy. And the look on his face, I'll never forget that. And that's the reason, you know, that we play the games, for moments like that, and to kind of share those moments with teammates.
Anything else for these guys?